Good evening. I call to order this inaugural meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Dufferin-Peel Catholic District School Board. Please stand for our national anthem. His Excellency Bishop Camilleri will now lead us in an opening prayer.
For the opening prayer, I'd like to pray the Ad Sumus Sanctus Spiritus. Ad Sumus means we stand before you, and this is an ancient prayer prayed by the Church at various councils, including the Second Vatican Council. And it's a prayer adopted for the synodal years of the Synod that Pope Francis has initiated. So let us pray. In the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. We stand before you, Holy Spirit, conscious of our sinfulness, but aware that we gather in your name. Come to us, remain with us, and enlighten our hearts. Give us light and strength to know your will, to make it known and to live it in our lives. Guide us by your wisdom, support us by your power. For you are God, sharing the glory of Father and Son. You desire justice for all. Enable us to uphold the rights of others. Do not allow us to be misled by ignorance or corruption. Unite us yourself in the bond of love. Keep us faithful to all that is true. As we gather in your name, may we temper justice with love, so that all our decisions may be pleasing to you. Earn the reward promised to good and faithful servants. You who live and reign with the Father and the Son, God forever and ever.
Thank you, Bishop Camilleri, and welcome to everyone this evening, those that are watching us live online or those in the audience. We're really pleased to see former staff and former trustees here for this very important meeting this evening. My name is Marianne Mazzarato. I'm the Director of Education, and I will be chairing this meeting until such time that we have elected a chair. I would ask you now to join, I'm going to open the meeting with a land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that we are on sacred Indigenous territory and thank the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation for being stewards of this land. Approval of the agenda. Do I have someone to move approval of the agenda? Trustee Daryl D'Souza moves it and seconded by Trustee Bruno Ionica. Any opposed? Carried. We're on Section F, which is the Director's Address to the Board. And before I deliver my address, I ask for a mover for receipt. Trustee Sean Xavier has moved it, and Trustee Stefano Pascucci has seconded. Any opposed? Carried. Your Excellency, members of the Board of Trustees, staff, and our honored guests, it is a Dufferin Peel tradition that the Director deliver a year-end address to the Board of Trustees, and it is my pleasure to provide some very brief remarks to you this evening. I will be presenting the 2021-2022 Director's Annual Report at the regular meeting of the Board on November 29th. This report will outline the progress we have made as a system toward meeting the goals of the Trustees' multi-year strategic plan. My remarks this evening will be aligned with the purpose of the inaugural meeting in both recognizing and acknowledging the work of the previous Board of Trustees and welcoming the new Board. I begin by personally extending gratitude to the Board of Trustees and each individual trustee for the remarkable job you have done in advocating for and supporting Catholic education in Dufferin Peel. The presence of previous trustees and staff and the representation from the Archdiocese of Toronto, provincial and local associations and unions here this evening is in tribute to the collective trust we have in you to govern as stewards of Catholic educational excellence, defining, delivering, and reporting system-wide strategies for student success and well-being, strategic planning and priority setting, policy development, and responsible fiscal management. While each of you has your own perspective, and that provides for vigorous debate, when the time comes, you rise and speak as a single entity with one unified voice contributing to the implementation and sustainment of the organization's mission and vision with focus and profound clarity. It's a powerful voice. The unified voice in pursuit of achieving the mission and vision has been the hallmark and tradition of successive boards of trustees in Dufferin Peel since we were created in 1969. It is fundamental to our notion as a Catholic community. As we make the transition to a new Board of Trustees, I would like to first recognize outgoing trustees, Sharon Hoban, former chair of the board, Anna De Silva, and Frank De Cosola. Their individual and collective passion, advocacy, and support for students, families, and Catholic education has been nothing short of remarkable. They have modeled Catholic servant leadership throughout their tenure as trustees of this board. We will miss their experience and their wisdom. I wish them God's richest blessings as they embark on new beginnings. I want to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude to the Board of Trustees for your support and leadership. I truly believe we are one of the leading boards in this province, and this is in no small part due to the dedication, commitment, passion, and sense of duty that each of you bring to the table. You cannot produce and sustain a vital faith-informed education system without a dedicated, highly competent community of governors working together for the continuous betterment of the programs and services on behalf of students. And now I would like to congratulate and welcome our newest members of the Board of Trustees, Anisha Thomas, Carmen Valoria, and Paula Di Matteo Giovanozzi. How did I do, Paula? Say it for me. D'Amato Giovanazzo. D'Amato Giovanazzo. On behalf of Executive Council and the senior management team, we are grateful and excited to have you join the board and bring your unique talents, expertise, and perspectives to further the board's vision of changing the world through Catholic education. To quote Hall of Fame basketball coach Phil Jackson, the strength of the team is each individual member. The strength of each individual member is the team. I believe we have a strong team around the table, and we look forward to working with you on behalf of students, families, and Catholic education for the next 4 years. We are about to embark on our Advent journey towards Christmas, where we, as a community of believers, anticipate the coming of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Advent encourages us to reflect on the contrast between our daily routine and the unexpected coming of the Lord. Pope Francis invites us to reflect on the gospel that encourages us to open our horizons, to further dimensions, giving meaning even to everyday occurrences. During this time of waiting, Pope Francis invites us to reflect and be mindful that we are called to enlarge the horizons of our hearts, to be surprised by the life that is present each day with its newness. In closing, it is my honor and privilege to work with you. I feel blessed and comforted knowing that whatever challenges we will face in the times ahead, we will respond for the common good anchored in our faith. Thank you, and may God bless you all. We're on section G, the returns of the elect. I will, thank you. So moved by Thomas, seconded by Mario Pascucci. All in favor? Before I read the official results of the October 24th, 2022 elections, can I ask for receipt? Trustee Thomas moves it. Trustee Luz Del Rosario seconds it. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Carried. The official results of the October 24th, 2022 elections are as follows. Wards 1, 3, and 4, Anisha Thomas. Wards 2, 5, and 6, Daryl D'Souza. Wards 7, 8, 9, and 10, Sean Xavier. I'm going to try this again. Kaladin Dufferin. Paula D'Amato, D'Amato Giovanozzi. D'Amato Giovanozzi. I'm going to say that 3 times. D'Amato Giovanozzi. And for Mississauga, Wards 1 and 3, Mario Pascucci. Wards 2 and 8, Herman Valoria. Ward 4, Stefano Pascucci. Ward 5, Thomas. Wards 6 and 11, Luz Del Rosario. Ward 7, Bruno Ionica. Wards 9 and 10, Bria Corbett. Section 8 is the declaration of office and oath of allegiance from the Education Act and the oath for Catholic trustees in Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board. This has been placed in front of all of you, and we're going to read it all together. And once we've read it all together, then you're going to sign it, and there's 3 places to sign it. So, can I ask Trustee Stefano Pascucci to start us on the first oath? Well, you're all going to read it together, but we need somebody to get it going.
I, Stefano Pascucci, do solemnly declare that I am not qualified
Thank you. Can I ask Trustee Bria Corbett to get trustees started on the oath of allegiance?
I, Bria Corbett, do affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, affirmed before me at the City of Mississauga in the Province of Ontario this 22nd day of November 2022.
Thank you. And can I ask Trustee Herman Valoria to get trustees started on the oath for Catholic trustees in the Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board? Thank you. I ascertain that the trustees have met all procedural requirements and are eligible to take office, and I declare the Board of Trustees to be legally constituted. Congratulations to all. We're now moving to the election of the chair of the board in accordance with the bylaws. Yes, so trustees, you can sign all three parts of that oath and declaration, and then we'll collect them after. I'm appointing three scrutineers this evening. So David Amaral, the Associate Director of Instructional Services, will be a scrutineer. Julie Chirapaka, the Executive Superintendent for Financial Services and Chief Financial Office, and Brian Hester, who is the Superintendent of Financial Services. These are our three scrutineers this evening. I'm going to call for nominations. A reminder that nominations do not require a seconder, and a trustee may self-nominate. Once a nomination has been made, I will be asking the person who was nominated whether or not they wish to allow their name to stand. And then we will confirm the nominees. They will be invited in order where they were nominated to address the Board of Trustees. So at this time, I call for nominations for the chair of the board. Trustee Bruno Ionica.
I'd like to nominate Luz Del Rosario.
Trustee Luz Del Rosario has been nominated. Trustee Luz Del Rosario, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Are there any other nominations? Trustee Sean Xavier.
I'd like to, Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Trustee Mario Pascucci.
Trustee Mario Pascucci has been nominated. Trustee Mario Pascucci, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any nominations? Other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Can I have a motion to close the nominations for Chair of the Board? Trustee Corbett moves it, and Trustee Stefano Pascucci seconds it. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, so at this time, Trustee Del Rosario has an opportunity to address the Assembly here this evening.
Thank you, Madam Director. Thank you, Trustee Bruno Ionica, for nominating me. Since my election as a Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board Trustee in 2006, I have advocated and continue to advocate for students and parents in my DP community. I have gained knowledge and experience from serving on school board subcommittees such as CSAC, Paid and Program, Contracts, and SEAC as chair, co-chair, or vice chair. I've also believed in being an active member in my community, and thus I have served as a volunteer chair or president or board member of organizations such as Heritage Mississauga, Safe City Mississauga, Community Living Mississauga, and Carasaga Festival, Inc. I'm also a proud member to be an active member of my parish, St. Joseph's, Streetsville, where I am involved in the Catholic Women's League. I serve as lector, funeral ministry, and finance committee. Prior to my retirement, I was a certified human resources professional and worked full-time as manager, payroll, and benefits for a medium-sized company with over 2,500 employees. I was responsible for managing payroll, pensions, and benefits for the whole company, including unionized employees. My role as your Oxtail representative on the board of directors has also given me a broad perspective of Catholic education in Ontario and Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board's impact and role in the province. We are well respected. With my professional and volunteer experience, including most recently as your vice chair of the board for the last 2 years, working very closely with our past chair, I am confident that I have an understanding of the roles and responsibilities of a Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board trustee, a chair, and a working knowledge of the many departments of the board. As chair of the board, I am ready for the challenge to meet the many demands of the
role to communicate in a timely fashion with you, my colleagues, to pay attention to detail, to attend and communicate information from meetings with the ministry and other stakeholders, and to lead effective discussions with all trustees, staff, and our parent community. I know this is a very important responsibility given the many challenges and opportunities placed upon school boards today. I do promise that given the opportunity, I will ensure that I am well informed, that I am available to perform the duties of the chair, and will work with you, my fellow trustees, and our director for the benefit of all of our students and our Dufferin-Peel Catholic District School Board community. I have a deep and abiding love for Catholic education, and I am proud of the important work we do on behalf of our ratepayers, parents, and students. So colleagues, tonight you have a choice. Please consider me to be your next chair of the Dufferin-Peel Catholic District School Board Board of Trustees. Thank you, and God bless.
Trustee Mario Pascucci?
Thank you. Madam Director, after a number of years on the board, I was able to pick up a lot of information from over the years that's been helpful in making decisions. Where we have concern, or where I have concerns and where we should look towards, is the idea of where do we go from here? We've just gone over 2 or 3 years of COVID. We have an incredible resilient system. The parents have worked hard with us. The students have worked hard with us. Our system has worked hard with us. But unfortunately, there were a lot of things gone by because we just did not have the time. It's no one's fault, except COVID. So when you look at this opportunity we have now to redefine the board into the future, you look at the board, for example, working with the church, working with the school, working with parents. Come back to our basics of why we exist. Therefore, looking at a new strategic plan, a potential strategic plan, to take a look and see where we are going from where we've come from. The interesting part is that the times don't make the chair, or should I say the chair does not make the times, but in fact, the times does make the chair. In other words, we are given something like COVID, and we did a great job. And for that, I would like to thank Luz and Sharon. Matter of fact, everybody around this table. We've worked hard. We are definitely a board that people look to. We've got incredible representation at Oxta. People know who Dufferin-Peel is. But working with the priests, rebuild that relationship, making sure that in fact we develop a strategic plan that everyone can work with, and yes, even down the very near future, have a retreat with trustees and senior staff so that we're all on the same page. Time has come. I look forward to your support. I work hard just like you do, and we've done an incredible thing of protecting Catholic education in the past and going into the future.
Thank you. The election will now proceed by secret ballot, and the trustee who receives the most votes will be declared elected. Chair of the Board of Trustees is Luz Del Rosario. Congratulations.
Moved by Trustee Ianica to destroy the ballot, seconded by Trustee Daryl D'Souza. All in favor? Carried. Okay, just give me a moment here to recover. So excited, thank you so much. So we're moving on to the election of the Vice Chair of the Board. Could I have nominations for election for the Vice Chair of the Board? Trustee Stefano Pascucci.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you, Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Thomas, please, for Vice Chair.
Trustee Thomas has been nominated. Trustee Thomas, do you accept? Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the position of Vice Chair of the Board? Trustee Bruno Ianica.
Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Bria Corbett.
Trustee Bria Corbett has been nominated. Trustee Corbett, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for Vice Chair of the Board? Are there any other nominations for Vice Chair of the Board? Are there any other nominations for Vice Chair of the Board? Seeing none, the nomination for Vice Chair of the Board has been closed. We now ask, I need a second, sorry. Seconded, moved by Trustee Mary Pascucci, seconded by Trustee Stefano Pascucci. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. I now ask Trustee Thomas to speak. Trustee Bria Corbett, please.
Good evening, and thank you, through you, Madam Chair. My thanks to Trustee Bruno Ianica for the nomination this evening. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be re-elected for the 2022-2026 term as trustee for Mississauga North and to continue serving the Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board on our Board of Trustees. With your blessing tonight, I'm asking and seeking the office of Vice Chair. This year's Catholic Education Week theme, We Are Many, We Are One, affirms the direction of our board and aligns with our governance role as a Board of Trustees. Together, we share the responsibilities of establishing the annual budget, developing school board policies, the multi-year strategic plan, while fulfilling our legislative requirements according to the Education Act. Together, we are 11 trustees, but we work as one to shape the vision of this board that is reflective of our parents, our students, our schools, and our communities. I've had the pleasure of learning from each of you over the past 4 years. You have my commitment as I endeavor to provide support to our chair, strong leadership for our board, and representation for each of you as my colleagues. It's a privilege to work with each one of you in your vocation as Catholic school trustees and in partnership with you for the responsibilities entrusted to us as system leaders. Together, we must continue to promote and protect publicly funded Catholic education. Thank you.
Proceed with the vote. It will be another secret ballot. We do have a vice chair of the board, Trustee Thomas. I have a motion to destroy the ballots, please? Moved by trustee Veloria, seconded by trustee Stefano Pascucci. All in favor? Thank you. Trustee Thomas? So our item number A is the remarks from the vice chair of the board.
First of all, I'd like to thank each and every one of you as trustees to trust in me, and I'd like to thank all of you for next 1 year as a vice chair, and I like congratulate the chair also, and to nominate me as a Stefano Pascucci for my nomination. Thank you.
Thank you. We're just clarifying stuff here. Thank you. The next item is the remarks from Chair of the Board. Madam Director, I would like to defer my remarks at the end of the meeting, please. So the next item is the election of Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee. Could I have nomination for the Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee, please? Trustee Stefano Pascucci.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to nominate trustee Sean Xavier, please.
Trustee Jarnik Xavier, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations for the Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee? Are there any other nominations for Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee? Being none, nomination for Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee is closed. Moved by Trustee Stefano Pascucci, seconded by
Second.
Trustee Bria Corbett. Any opposed? Oh, all in favor? Thank you. So Trustee Sean Xavier, you're acclaimed as the Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee. The next item is the election of the Vice Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee. Could I have nomination for the Vice Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee, please? Trustee Maria Pascucci. Trustee Stefano Pascucci, do you accept?
No, Madam Chair, thank you. I'll decline.
You don't thank me?
Trustee Thomas?
I nominate Darrell D'Souza.
Trustee Darrell D'Souza, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you.
Are there any other nominations for the Vice Chair of Administration and Finance Committee? Trustee Mary. Trustee Bria Corbett, do you accept the nomination?
I accept, Madam Chair.
Are there any other nominations for the Vice Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee? Are there any other nomination for the Vice Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee? Are there any other nomination for the Vice Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee? Seeing none, move to close the nomination for Vice Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee by Trustee Mary Pascucci. Could I have a seconder, please?
I second that.
Seconded by Trustee Thomas. All in favor? So we now have an election for the Vice Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee. Are we doing it? Oh, yes. Thank you, Madam Director. Trustee Darrell D'Souza, your words.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to thank Stefano for nominating me for Vice Chair of the Administration and Finance Committee. I've been a Vice Chair for this committee in the past, and I believe I've added some value to this committee. So, I'm seeking your support, my fellow trustees, to continue to be the vice chair for this term. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Trustee Darrell D'Souza. Trustee Bria Corbett. Thank you, Madam Chair, and through you. I've had the pleasure of chairing the Administration and Finance Committee previously. We are required to be a fiscally responsible board managing $1 billion budget. It would be my pleasure to serve as vice chair for this committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Bria Corbett. Our Vice Chair of the Admin and Finance is Trustee Bria Corbett. Could I have a motion to destroy the ballots, please? Moved by Anisha Thomas, Trustee Anisha Thomas, seconded by Trustee Thomas. Any opposed? All in favor? Thank you. Moving on to the election of the Chair of the Faith and Program Committee. Could I have nominations for the Chair of the Faith and Program Committee?
I nominate Stefano Pascucci.
Thank you. Trustee Stefano Pascucci, you've been nominated. You accept?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I decline.
Decline. Are there any other nominations for the Chair of the Faith and Program Committee?
Madam Chair, sorry. Go ahead. Please go ahead, please. Go ahead.
He raised his hand. So I'll give him.
Madam
Trustee
Chair, I would like to nominate Trustee Bruno Ainica.
Trustee Bruno Anica. Do you accept the nomination? Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the Chair of the Faith and Program Committee? Are there any other nominations for the Chair of the Faith and Program Committee? Are there any other nomination for the chair of the Faith and Program Committee? Seeing none, nominations is closed, but I have somebody move. Moved by trustee Thomas, seconded by trustee Herman Veloria. All in favor? Carried. Trustee Bruno Yanika is the new chair of the Faith and Program Committee. I now accept the nomination for the vice chair of the Faith and Program Committee. Are there any nominations for the vice chair of the Faith and Program Committee? Trustee Mary. Trustee Herman Veloria has been nominated. Trustee Veloria, do you accept the nomination? Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the vice chair of the Faith and Program Committee? Trustee Bria Corbett.
Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Trustee Darrell D'Souza.
Trustee Darrell D'Souza, do you accept the nomination?
No, Madam Chair, I decline.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the vice chair of the Faith and Program Committee? Are there any other nominations for the vice chair of the Faith and Program Committee? Are there any other nominations for the vice chair of the Faith and Program Committee? Seeing none. Trustee Mary Pascucci moved to close the nomination for the vice chair of the Faith and Program Committee. Could I have a seconder? Second? Seconded by Paula. Paula Neto Giovanat.
Why not?
Got that right. So all in favor? Our vice chair of the Faith and Program Committee is Trustee Herman Veloria. Congratulations. We're now going to the election of the chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee. Would I have nominations for the chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee? Trustee Bria Corbett.
Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Trustee Stefano Pascucci.
Trustee Stefano Pascucci, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do.
Do.
I do, yes.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee? Are there any other nominations for the chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee? Are there any other nominations for the chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee? Seeing none, I guess somebody moved to.
Second that?
Moved by Trustee Maria Pascucci to close the nomination for the chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee, seconded by Trustee Thomas. We now have a chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee, Stefano Pascucci. Trustee Stefano Pascucci. We're going in now to the election of the vice chair of the Board Bylaws Policies Review Committee. Could I have nominations for the vice chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee? Trustee Sean Xavier.
Madam Chair, I'd like to nominate Trustee Anisha Thomas.
Trustee Anisha Thomas, do you accept the nomination? Are there any other nomination for the vice chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee? Are there any other nomination for the vice chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee? Are there any nomination for the vice chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee? Seeing none, I get Trustee Bria Corbett to close the nomination for the vice chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee. Moved by Trustee Bria Corbett, seconded by Trustee Sean Xavier. All in favor? Carried. We now have the vice chair of the Board Bylaw Policies Review Committee as Trustee Anisha Thomas. Congratulations. We're moving on to the election of the chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee. Could I have a nomination for the chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee? Trustee Thomas.
I nominate Mario Pascucci.
Trustee Mario Pascucci, do you accept the nomination? Are there any other nomination for the chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee? Are there any other nomination for the chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee? Are there any other nomination for the chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee? Seeing none, could I get somebody move to close the nomination? Moved by Trustee Stefano Pascucci, seconded by Trustee Sean Xavier. All in favor? Thank you. Our chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee is Trustee Mario. Thank you. We're now going into the election of the vice chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee. Could I have nomination, Trustee Herman Deloria?
Madam Chair, I would like to nominate Daryl D'Souza for Vice Chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee.
Trustee Daryl D'Souza, do you accept the nomination?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, I do.
Thank you. Trustee Maria Pascucci? Trustee Paula Donato Giovanaccio?
I accept.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the vice chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee? Are there any other nominations for the vice chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee? Are there any other nominations for the vice chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee? Seeing none, could I have somebody move to close the nomination? Moved by Trustee Maria Pascucci, seconded by Trustee Herman Veloria. I now ask the candidates to please speak a little bit. First one is Trustee Daryl D'Souza.
Thank you, Herman, for nominating me for Vice Chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee. This is the first time I would be part of this committee, so I look forward to all of you all supporting me to get this position. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Trustee Paula.
Thank you to Mario Pascucci to nominate me for Vice Chair. I'm new here and I'm excited to roll up my sleeves and get involved. So I would be honored to have the position. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now going to a vote for the vice chair of the Multi-Year Strategic Planning Committee.
The committee.
Vice Chair of Multi-Year Strategic Planning is Trustee Daryl D'Souza. Now, I would like to ask to have the motion to destroy the ballots, please. Moved by Trustee Bruno Yanica, seconded by Trustee Anisha Thomas. All in favor? Thank you. Carried. And the last item is the closing remarks from the Chair of the Board. Thank you to His Excellency Bishop Ivan Camilleri for celebrating the Mass and joining us at our inauguration today. Thank you to my fellow trustees for your vote of confidence in me as Chair of Dufferin Field Catholic District School Board for 2022-2023. It is my honor to represent you and this board. This is a hard-working and caring board of trustees face a lot of challenges and opportunities, especially in the last few years. We have a long history of defending Catholic education, and we stand on the shoulders of those who have gone before us. We will continue to face those challenges together because we care about Catholic education and our students' success and well-being. I welcome Trustee Thomas as my Vice Chair and look forward to working with you. Congratulations to all the chairs and vice chairs who accepted and were elected or acclaimed this evening. I would like to take this opportunity to also thank our director, Marianne Mazzarato, our associate directors, David Amaral and Daniel Del Bianco, executive superintendent Julie Cherapaca, and our superintendents for all your hard work on behalf of our students and communities. To our students, parents, and guardians, thank you. Thank you for choosing Catholic education. Thank you, and God bless. Now move for adjournment. Oh, do I get somebody to move receipt of my closing remarks? Yes. Do I get somebody moved?
Okay, I
Moved
move.
by Trustee Bruno Ayanica, seconded by Trustee Bria Corbett. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. I now move for adjournment. Could I have moved to adjourn the meeting? Moved by Trustee Stefano Pascucci, seconded by Trustee Daryl D'Souza. All in favor? Thank you. Thank you again. Oh, that's the best.